Now, there wasn't much documentation on the Intel 404, not 404, Intel 4004 or Intel 8088. I don't know if I'm saying the numbers correctly, but there was a 4-bit chip back in the 70s, as I just saw it today. Maybe my EE444 instructor mentioned it, but I don't remember. Now, binary is base 2, right? So 2 to the 0 is 1. Any number to the 0 power is 1. That's our definition of math and exponents. 10 to the 0 power is 1. 9,000 to the 0 power is 1. 2 to the 0 power is 1. 4 to the 0 power is 1. That's our definition. So for base 2, they say 2 to the 0 is 1, and 2 to the first is 2. 2 to the second is 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 to the 0 is 1. You can either use a 0 or a 1 for that kind of system, I guess. Now 2 to the 1 is 2. You use both 0 and 1. And 2 to the 2 is 4. Now in binary, how do you represent 4? 4 in decimal. Now all of this, 2 to the 0, etc., is using decimal, what we know in decimal. So is it not better to use decimal itself? Because we're able to do that now. You can use a hexadecimal system, which is 16 bits, and just use it as a 10-bit decimal, right? You'll find use for the other ports, but better not to use other ports, right? Then you'll have to decide, are we going to use a current international system of units, or are we going to adopt something new for interstellar space travel, where we use, there's a unit for the size of the size of our galaxy itself. It's just 1 unit of our solar system. The entire solar system we have, I think, they made that into one unit, astronomical unit. When you're talking about space, right? So now the 64-bit system that India has, now they can use base 16 or base 32 or base 64, which in some ways would be much superior to base 10, but cause a lot of confusion. Or they can just make it into base 10 and just use optical circuits. And it will be backward compatible when you eventually have it to 64-bit optical circuits. It will be backward compatible to all the old systems if you know how to program it, right? Now the design of the photonic circuits is very, very similar to the binary circuits, to the electronic circuits.